Hey folks, guess what? Anime Brian's back from the dead. uh, yeah, I'm back after half a year of not uploading videos. Let's get right on that. Basically, the last video I ever uploaded, I was making a Super Mario Bros. X level for an event we were having on RMN. I planned on making 3 levels, and I only got to make one of them. And before I could get around to making more levels and stuff, I downloaded this video, and the video, like, I don't know, like, it glitched to the point where it didn't just freeze up my media player, it also froze up my entire computer. And hey, look, the screen went black. Isn't that cute? And my hyper cam timer is freezing up and acting like a bitch. Lovely. But anyway, so the video froze up, not only the media player, but the entire computer, my entire laptop. And apparently I must not have been in a good mood because I couldn't handle it. I was sitting there going like, what's your problem and shit? And I kept replaying it, and I tried to open it up in a video editor so I could actually find out where the glitch is, and I was going to fix it. Well, that didn't work out, and apparently I lost my shit. Straight grabbed that fucking laptop and just start smashing it, fucking bam, 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 bam. It was fucking horrible. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever done in my entire life. Especially considering I put it into a coma once before, where I slammed the controller on the corner and put out the hard drive. Yeah, and I don't have any income, so it's like, it's like a over $900 fucking laptop and shit from back at the end of 2011. I can't afford to replace the damn thing, so that was really stupid what I just did. But yeah, so what it was is I basically signed up for general assistance, and around here it's like a lousy $80-something a month, and you only collect it for 3 months. Basically, it would add up to about $240 over the course of 3 months. Then I had to wait for my dad to show up, and he always gives me $100 to help me out, and another $100 on my PG&E bill. And for those of you who live outside of California, PG&E is the one and only monopolized utility company in California, which they're about ready to get lynched. See, at the time of this recording, you probably can't tell because I have multiple screens. So for those of you paying attention, November 23rd, basically Black Friday. Those of you who might keep up on national news might know that here in California, I live in Marysville. Up north, some huge fires are raging to the point where it completely burned down an entire town to the ground. That would be Paradise. And another town, Magalia, I think is what it's called, was like mostly burned. I can't remember the actual percentage. It was like anywhere from 75% to 90% burned down. It was really bad. But yeah, my dad showed up and he was evacuee for that, and so he kind of stayed with me for a week. He gave me $100, and he ended up helping me out with a bunch of other shit too. And thanks to him, and only thanks to him, aside from the money I was saving up, I was able to get my laptop fixed. Had to jump to some hoops. Got a new screen because I fucked that up. But the screen isn't really new. On the budget, because I didn't really have as much as I probably should have, I ended up getting a used screen, so it's not perfect, but, it gets the job done. And I got my RAM upgrade, so instead of 4 gigs of RAM, I now have 6. This will let me run some shit smoother and might actually open up a few doors in Let's Plays. I may be able to do a Let's Play of PS2 games on my PS2 emulator because it used to run kind of slow and choppy on its own. I may be able to get away with recording with it too now. Here's the downside, though. I got my laptop fixed. It took about half a year. But the problem is my hard drive died. It seemed like it was okay at first, but then there's booting problems. So the guy gave me back my hard drive, but essentially, not only would it not run on my laptop, data retrieval was not an option either. The hard drive would die off before data can be retrieved from it. So I lost a lot of shit. This may sound kind of like I'm a damn drama queen, but no, honestly, when I went to the repair shop and the guy said that, because we already called him in, I asked him, do a checkup, damage assessment, basically. Originally, he said the hard drive's not dead; it's intact. You just gotta fix your new screen. You need to fix the screen, get a new one, and something about a video. I don't know, was it like some sort of interface or something like that? Something that makes the screen work. That had to be fixed, and that supposedly was it until we checked up on the guy, and then all of a sudden he says, your hard drive is basically, it's not going to work. It keeps dying off, and I can't retrieve data off of it. To hear that news, I was so devastated. It's like, I actually, not being a parent myself, but I almost felt like as if I had a kid. I took him to the hospital. They put him in surgery. And then to have the doctor come out with the grimace look on his face saying, sorry, we couldn't save him. He died. That's what I felt when they basically told me my hard drive died. And at that point, I realized all the shit I lost. For those of you keeping up with my YouTube channel, I have been uploading preview videos for a Super Mario Bros. X episode I was working on. Because I have my own episode I'm working on finally for the first time. Legacy of the Stars. I had quite a few levels done. Like, I had at least 6 or 7, maybe 8 levels done. A lot of stuff was in the works, but I had levels done, and I was working on one big level, and I never got to finish it before I, screwed up like an idiot. But all that's gone. I lost it all. My RPG Maker and the Dragon Quest remake I was working on, that's fine because I was smart enough to keep that on a flash drive. Otherwise, that would be gone too. I could always reinstall MV. I have the installer saved too, so MV will never be beyond my reach, but getting shit done's a whole different story though. My Dragon Quest remake, I have uploaded a demo to it. I'll probably put a link into the description too for those of you who still haven't heard yet. But yeah, I basically did a remake of the original Dragon Quest for RPG Maker MV. It's not completely done, but it's at least 95% done. So it's mostly playable. There's just a few things like rescuing the princess and shit and bring her back to the king, and all the other different interactions that can happen, which is some of the really interesting things. That part hasn't been done yet, and I know that's just me lagging on that part. But the real hang-up that's kind of beyond my control is some of the plugin support I need. There's a thing where Yamfly's equip core is kind of giving me a weird bug where I guess if you hit optimize on your equipment, for some reason it completely strips you of all accessories, which, by the way, there's 4 accessory slots for you to equip stuff. And each accessory in the game is unique, so you're not allowed to stack stuff anymore. I kind of mentioned that in my preview for the game, that you actually could stack dragon scales and shit. But I made it where you can't do that now. So that way you can't completely exploit it, but you can have quite a few accessories equipped. But yeah, the optimize function for some weird reason strips you of all your accessories. The other thing that's even a little more deeper is that obviously anyone who's played Dragon Quest, and especially the first one, knows there's cursed accessories too. The cursed belt and the cursed necklace or death necklace. But as far as cursed items go, the way they are normally handled in RPG Maker is that when you equip a piece of cursed equipment, it's supposed to lock its own equip slot so you can't change the equipment. And that's what it does. But by default, RPG Maker normally only supports one accessory slot. It's through Yamfly's Equip Core plugin that I allow up to 4 accessories. Well, his plugin doesn't handle the idea of cursed accessories. If you have a cursed accessory lock its equip slot, it doesn't just lock its own, it locks all of your accessories. Whether something's equipped there or not, it's now locked. So if you have no accessories equipped and you equip a cursed belt or a death necklace, that's it. Its slot is locked and all the other ones are locked too. Now you can't even equip new accessories. That's not the way it should work, but I haven't got much in the way of support as far as fixing that. So basically, until I get help with that particular part, the last 5% of my Dragon Quest demo will be in hiatus. But like I said, for the most part, it is mostly playable. The other thing besides rescuing the princess and the accessory nonsense would be, of course, the ending. You can fight the Dragon Lord the way it is now, but nothing happens afterwards. So it's like, once you beat him, you're done. You won't get an ending yet, and that's not until I completely finish the game. Now I need to get on the RPG Maker forums and stuff, like RPG Maker Central, RPG Maker Web, maybe even the RPG Maker MV site. But maybe I can get some help on this. But anyway, so yeah, Dragon Quest Remake, that's still there. But everything else I lost. I lost all my ROMs and emulators, and that was another kick to the balls too because of what Nintendo has done. Nintendo declaring war on fucking ROMs, not so much emulators, but ROMs. And a large portion of my collection just went to shit. Hey, look at that. I do not care. Why don't you shut up? Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too. So I lost everything on my hard drive. I'm still technically in the rebuilding phase of my computer. I do not have internet at home. Still, I'm working on that. So I have yet to download all the updates Windows 7 needs. What else? But I am working on it. I mean, I'm trying to sign up for AT&T's low-income plan, AT&T Access. It's basically for low-income people like me where I can get internet here at home as fast as, I guess, 10 megabits per second. And I don't like that term megabits because it sounds weaker than megabytes unless actually they're just changing the term. But even then, 10 megabytes per second doesn't sound very fast, but I don't know. But it'd be nice if I at least had some form of internet at home so I can get shit done. At least, get some Windows updates downloaded. Some of the games I've re-downloaded that I had, some of them don't work because I still don't have like DirectX 11 on my computer. Tried to download the file, got a stupid I think it's an MSU file, and for some dumbass reason, my computer thinks that all that shit needs to be open with Microsoft Office, like a fucking dumbass, so it won't execute the damn files properly. Yeah, so like I said, it's a bit of a mess. So I'm still kind of in computer hell like I was before. After I downloaded a driver that fucking put my computer out of commission until I had to get Microsoft tech support to help me out with that shit. It's always one damn thing after another. God. It's always computer hell and limited access to the internet and makes you wonder how the fuck do I even do the things I do. But yeah, so for those of you wondering, I'm still going to do Let's Plays. I don't really have anything entirely planned yet, because like I said, I'm still kind of in my recovery phase. But I definitely want to jump back onto the Super Mario Bros. X bandwagon. And actually, as a matter of fact, I think I know some games I can actually start doing Let's Plays of. Like, see here, here's my Super Mario Bros. X. I just had to re-download all my graphics packs. The one that really I needed was the new Super Mario Bros. X custom graphics packs by Squishy Rex. Although technically, I believe Red Yoshi from the Super Mario Bros. X forums was the one who put this mostly together. Oh, that's the complete version, so I guess I don't need this. Yeah, apparently they were saying the graphics pack's like the big one, which is this one right here. This one is apparently it's so damn big, they had to split into more parts. But it pretty much will have everything I need. Okay, yeah. Because I took everything out of the part 2 folder and I put it with the rest of it, so it's one big pack. Almost a gig, too, actually, which is pretty damn big for graphics. Larger than 239. Yeah, it won't even tell me how big it is. Asshole. There's the fun part. Watching that number grow. Oh, no, slowing down. I'm pretty sure it's close to a gig. Like, I didn't think it was more than 700 or 800, but damn, it's getting bigger. But yeah, that's a lot of shit. Size on disk just went over a gig. Wow, that's really big. That's actually bigger than I thought. Damn. Shit. A gig and a half on disk, but I probably hit no. Actually, I'm not compressing it. Otherwise, everything would be in blue if it was. But it says size 1.15 gigs. That's still a lot. Like, holy shit. But yeah, so I had to re-download all these resources and shit. I have to basically rebuild what I had. Re-download some games, Super Talking Time Brothers, which I haven't extracted yet. I've already did an LP of those, so that's no real concern. And Last King of Hyrule was the very first LP I actually did. I wouldn't mind trying my hand at it again, though. I could use some Zelda 2 playing and shit. Let's see. Here is something that fucking I never got around to doing an LP of. I'm still missing some default episodes. I re-downloaded the game I helped contribute to. Got the Princess Cliché, the Invasion. Yeah, I don't like it how they called it 2. Makes you wonder where the first one was. So it's actually the Invasion version 2. Super Armin World, Super Armin Bros. 3. I just need Armin Brothers 1 and 2 and possibly the All-Stars version. All-Stars was actually the one game I didn't do an LP of because the game is mostly just a hodgepodge rehash of all the best levels from all 3 games. So, but as far as story and map events and stuff go, they did make some changes. Well, I wouldn't mind doing actually a preview of that too, just to fuck around. Anyway, so here's my project being rebuilt. But yeah, I never did do a LP of Castle Masterpiece Set 1 and recently released Castle Masterpiece Set 2. This was the one I was waiting for, actually. Like, I wanted to do the first one, but when I heard about the second one, I was like, well, I'll just wait until they do that, and then I'll do them both. But it took a long time. Like, it was in some sort of what you would call development hell that kept it from being finished. I wonder if I should associate those level files. Watch, you might see some stupid bullshit here. Alright, LVL is the extension. Properties. Oh, Windows Shell Common. Okay. Because I swear to God, like, I'll see fucking Microsoft Office 2010 blah 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 or something like that. I'm just like, what the fuck? It's like, you're dumb. Let's see if I can associate it. Don't make me put it there, you asses. Desktop. Games. Super Mario Bros. X. Ta-da! There. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the world file. Yeah, associate yourself with that too. Just for good measure. Yeah, there we go. Nothing fancy, but they put a mushroom in all the files. So you know they're level files for Super Mario Bros. X. But yeah, so I'll actually probably do that as my next Let's Play, Castle Masterpiece 1 and 2. Obviously not in one video, and it may take more than one episode to cover the first game, much less the second one. See, watch. Here's my project. Yeah, remembering all the different levels I came up with, that list. It's a good thing I did those preview videos, including that last update I did. Well, I actually had to re-download that and watch it just to archive or get an archive of what I had. Because, like I said, all my lists, all my stuff, gone. So I was like, wait a minute. And I remember rewatching some of my videos, and I was like, I had that stuff on video. It's archived. I just got to re-download, and I can look at the list and make whatever changes I had in mind. Yeah, of the sad things, the Turbo Tunnel level that I uploaded, yeah, I have to redo it. And it took a lot of work. Toad's Jumping Hijinks was one, but that's not too hard. Like I said, I have the videos now. I can rewatch them to get an idea of what the level design was. Yeah, Doomsday Zone. I decided I'm gonna add the Death Egg level to it and shit. The Death Eggs or Doomsday Zone was the one level I was working on where I never could really finish it. The boss aspect of the fight was tricky to do. I'm going to have to re-download the resources and rebuild that again. I mean, it's not like I had 50% of the game done. Not even 75 or even 90 or 95%. If I had gotten that much fucking done and then lost everything, I probably would be like broken. Like broken to the point where I just said, fuck it, you know what? I went through all that shit and for nothing? No. Most developers would feel the same way. Very few of them would get back on the fucking horse, like they always tell you. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's, do you decide to get back up afterward? Some people have the fortitude to do it. Some do not. Here's the thing. For those who maybe never heard me say this on any of my videos at all, my lifelong goal ever since I was a kid was to be a video game designer. But looking at how the industry has turned out now, I'm kind of glad that I never got to join the ranks of Nintendo or Sega or Enix or Squaresoft, now Square Enix. You know, I mean, well, they're not that bad, but, you know, like I said, we know who the really fucked up people are. EA Sports, Konami, some of these guys have American branches. Some are exclusively Japan, practically, at least as far as the actual decision making and game making features. But yeah, and then look at what the gaming industry has turned into now. Fucking microtransactions because they're greedy fucks. Constant DLC to games instead of just, hey, here's a game. No, everything requires fucking internet now, and I'm one of the few people who don't have fucking internet at home. Fucking, yeah, like I'm the oddball out of the fucking group, apparently. But still, I kind of really like old school gaming because of this shit. The microtransactions are just stupid. This pay to win, fucking loot boxes. I mean, the fact that it's literally fucking gambling and not to mention ripping people off. And the whole pay to win is fucking dumb too. It's like, it's not even fair. It should be segregated. There should be at least like a division of people who don't do the pay to play and a division of people who can. Let the rich people duke it out with the rich people and let the poor people duke it out amongst themselves. Don't let poor people compete with fucking rich people who have an unfair advantage. I mean, That's fucking common sense, dude. I don't even play multiplayer online games because I don't have internet. You know, and even I understand how stupid that is. Not to mention all the cheaters and the hackers and all the bannings, both the deserved and the undeserved bannings. You know, fucking the gaming industry really is like starting to rot at its core. The only shining pinnacle, the silver lining in it all, are the indie gamers or indie developers. I'm talking about guys like what was it, Yacht Games or whatever, the one that does Shovel Knight. A couple of other developers, I can't seem to remember their names, but you know all the independent fucking games and shit. Watch, actually, it's on that window. Go ask Super Mario Bros. X. Developers like Honey Pot, who make Honey Pop and now are planning on making a sequel. Yeah, like I said, I'm missing a lot of games. I still haven't really got my hands on some shit. But yeah, all these guys who'd made games like Rogue Legacy and Shovel Knight, Spelunky, fucking others, like, basically the indie game developers, I have a lot of respect for them because, you know what? They don't have a bunch of greedy fuckers telling them to ruin games and the microtransaction crap. And this is funny coming from a poor person. I mean, I don't have any real income, so it's like I can barely get anything done. I'm only allowed access to internet because I happen to live in Section 8 apartment housing that happens to have its own computer lab, which is kind of hard to get into in its own right when we have a manager problem. Can't seem to have a proper manager stay in the damn office and keep the damn place open. And then on top of that, my local library and shit, they're working on the electrical system. So if you bring your laptop to the library, you can't plug it in to keep it powered up. So I have to run on fucking battery. So I can take my laptop now to the library, but my internet is extremely limited. I have to, like you might notice this, one of the icons or shortcuts I never had to use before was the power option. As soon as I pack this fucker up to go take it to the library, I have to immediately switch to power saver mode before I go. So that way, running on battery, I can make it last somewhat long. By that, more than likely, at least 2.5 to 3 hours if I'm lucky. Yeah, everything's a fucking mess. I'm just glad I have my laptop back, though, because this really was the center of my world. When I put my laptop at commission, I literally basically what I would normally go through is the dark ages. I had no real consoles to keep me occupied other than the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, which I can't even play because the analog stick on my 64 broke. So, can't play that shit. No PS2 and a bunch of PS2 games is sitting around. Thank God there's a flea market nearby because I was able to eventually save up some money and buy a PS2. Bought one. The damn thing crapped out on me while playing Final Fantasy 12. End up smashing that poor bastard with a hammer. It just fucking sinned. It's like, nope, fuck you. You're not going to finish this game. I'm like, oh, really? You fucked up. That was the one thing I had to hold on to keep my sanity around here, was to be able to play Final Fantasy 12 or any of my other PS2 games. And to have it give me a finger and say, nope, you're not playing it, or you're not finishing this game anymore. I was like, you asshole. But luckily, found another dealer, and I ended up buying a silver PS2. And I just happened to have a silver controller that didn't work. And a regular DualShock controller that did. So I just swapped out the innards and put all the good working innards into the silver casing and got myself a working silver controller to go with my new silver PS2. And that helped me keep my sanity while I play Final Fantasy 12. In fact, I just recently beat it. Still didn't do all the optional shit, but once I got the whole fucking money and ran off to go get my laptop fixed, I'm like, well, I don't have to put up with this game shit no more. So I went ahead and cut off whatever side quests I was working on, and I said, fuck it, I'm done with this game. I'm not farming for shit. Fuck all the rare game that don't want to pop up. I'm done. I got my Tornasoul. I got my 2 mass immunes. I beat the fuck out of Yasmat. That's enough to make any player happy. But yeah. And now I have a PS2 emulator, but, you know, like I said, I don't have everything I need. I'm missing certain files. I can't even play Shockwave Flash files in this damn thing. My KM player won't do it. My fucking Firefox browser won't do it. It's a fucking pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm still, like I said, I'm in the recovery phase. But as you can plainly see, I can record. And I can play Super Mario Bros. X. It's one of the few games that's working. So I've got some shit going. And I'm also working on getting my hands on Final Fantasy VII for the PC, rather than run it through a PS1 emulator. If I can get that to work and it looks good enough, I might actually do an LP of Final Fantasy VII. You know, because it's not like we're going to see the remake finished anytime soon. Huh? Fucking Square Enix and their shit. And we have Kingdom Hearts 3. Final Fantasy 15, and we're fucking it up. Yeah, get your shit together, guys. Get your shit together. Seriously, pick a game, stick with it, get your priorities straight. That's your problem, branching off on too many different fucking projects all at once, you know. What's that old saying about fucking 2 rabbits and shit? Try to catch 2 rabbits, you lose them both. Yeah. Which is funny, too, because, like, I guess I'm not one to talk. I mean, I have my own Super Mario Bros. X episode I'm working on. At the same time, I was also kind of running off and doing my Dragon Quest remake. But now I don't work on my Dragon Quest remake because I've hit a roadblock that I have no control over. Where Super Mario Bros. X, I do have control over, but some shit went south. But yeah. So anyway, through all my babbling and shit, where'd that window go? There we go. So Super Mario Bros. X, going back to my current project, and I'll show you this. I had to rebuild this. Why are you down there? Go up there. There we go. You know, same concept and stuff. I've made these prettier to look at now. And yes, this is basically my completion list too. It's a list of all the levels as far as, you know, secrets and... Yeah, I probably shouldn't be giving away this information, but whatever. It's going to be a while before I complete this game anyway. But yeah, you know, I have a list of all my levels now. The completion stats of each one, as far as even including world completion. Got my 9 or 10 worlds of stuff, plus other shit like Peach's Castle as a starting point. And the world map, which, you know, I'm not too familiar with knowing how to put one together, so that's going to feel like a new experience. Calculations, I had to kind of, you know, divide that up into what makes up what. But basically what we're going for is a 100% game completion. And of course, I always do preview videos of my levels. I don't think I need to redo the ones I already did, unless they play differently. And that's another thing too, because now I have to stop and think. The level I was working on, I can't remember what the last preview was, but at the end of it, I hinted at my Star Palace level. And Star Palace was the one I was recently working on. That's the big level. Let's minimize this. I probably shouldn't show you this because this is basically a spoiler, but... Where's that Star Palace? Aside from, you know, it's based on the Great Palace, as one would see from the preview. Consider yourself privileged you're even looking at this, but this was what I originally did when I made the level. I had to draw a map and map this all out. Like, yeah, if you want to get an idea of exactly what kind of planning goes into a really big Super Mario Bros. X level, this is how crazy it can get. This level was big. and I had it mostly finished. Like I had all section 1, 2, 3. I had 4 done all the way through 5. I had section 9 done. Section 6, all section 7, all of 8, all this shit. Like I had like at least, I'd say about 80 to 90% of this level done. And there's a lot of running around. This is a big level. Like it's supposed to be the mini boss fortress level for World 9, but it plays like a real castle, and a big one at that. It plays like the Grand, or is it the Grand Palace? No, Great Palace. Yeah, it's basically, it has a kind of like a level of difficulty and the length almost of the Great Palace. There is backtracking, of course. You know, the idea is that you have to collect 5 star coins, which remove a star block, and then you can get to the midpoint and you go after a boss key, and you need the boss key to go fight the boss. There's vertical sections and stuff where you're going to need a fairy pendant in order to get through it. And the fairy pendants are on generators. The generators require that you hit the switch first. So you have to literally, at minimum, go all the way down here to the lowest levels, hit the switch, and then all of a sudden all the fairy pendant generators will turn on. Now you can backtrack to certain areas and use the fairy pendant to fly and, you know, get to some of the star coins. There's quite a bit of running around in this damn thing. Most people will be like, "Oh, you're going too far," and "What the hell, man?" I'd be like, nah, just trust me on this one. I know a lot of people hate Zelda 2 because of the difficulty. And a lot of people hate the Great Palace because it's fucking confusing. Especially with all the dead ends. But at least my version of this place, you know, which is a Star Palace, all the dead ends have something at the end of it. So it's not full waste. There's either a star coin waiting for you, or there's a key, or some other power-up. You know, you won't find too many dead ends, but there is quite a bit of running around. But yeah, it's going to be a great level. And I'm actually kind of wanting to start on that first, as far as this project goes. However, that's not the only thing, though. Here's what's hilarious. When I got my laptop fixed, I immediately went on the RMN, and what do I fucking find? I mean, I'm checking to see how many people have downloaded my Dragon Quest Remake demo. See whether or not if anyone had any questions, whatever, or anyone want to do an LP of it. Despite being a demo, but it's 95% complete. But no one is doing anything as far as, like, you know, no questions, no maybe ideas or something, or, you know, no LPs, not even a review, but I don't know, maybe it's because it's a demo. But yeah, I'm all checking up on it, and I go on RMN, and it turns out the old gang has decided to start another event. Mind you, the last one I remember was about half a year ago. Now they're doing this event where you can make a level and have it based on your favorite song. And we're looking to add music to these levels that isn't typical of a Super Mario Bros. Game. They're kind of looking for, like, you know, just any kind of real music whatsoever. Say, like, for example, I can't even think of a good example. I don't know, some band maybe. You know, whatever band you're like, oh yeah, I love that song, and I'm going to make a level where you rock out to it and shit. And yeah, that's basically the idea. It's like, okay, make a level, try to base the theme on that music. You know, if you can find one that's really fitting. And I remember one of the levels I actually was planning on making, and I never got around to it, and I ended up scrapping it, actually. Any of you seen my videos where I actually load up a level, you might have saw a name, and the name was Through the Fire and Flames. It's basically a level where that's exactly the idea I had in mind. You would basically hop in a Potty shoe, and you would bounce on note blocks hovering over lava while outrunning a lava wall that's trying to burn you. And you're just rocking out to the through the fire and flames while you're literally dodging through fire and flames. Like, there'd be a high path where you bounce on note blocks, and if you fall, you just fall toward the lower path, which is all lava. It's literally all pure lava. So you have to have the Potaboo shoe to get through that. Which means if you lose the shoe and get hit, you're done. But on the music note blocks, you could actually go without the shoe. But obviously the shoe's there as a kind of a safety protocol. But yeah, I had the idea, and the event requires that, and by the way, the event started here in November, in the beginning of it. It was already almost halfway through by the time I got my laptop fixed. Because I just got it fixed recently, and I'm sitting there like, you guys started an event without me? No. And I'm not sure who's hosting it because I couldn't find a name, but I think Jackalotron was the one responding to a lot of stuff. So I guess maybe he's doing it. I think he was also responsible for fixing up Castle Masterpiece Set 2. Or at least he was. I think he might have passed that off to somebody else. But yeah, so before I actually get to work on my project, and before I get to work on my Castle Masterpiece Set 1 and 2 LPs, which will be my next ones, I'm going to work on my own level for this event. Now, we're obviously told that we can make one level, but only after completing a level to the point where it's approved. If we wanted to, we can do a second one. But me, I'm just concerned we're just getting at least one level into this event. Ironically, I don't even see the last event as far as being downloadable. That something about Dr. Toadley's Revenge or something like that. I forgot what it's called. But I got at least one level into that event. And I was kind of realizing, oh shit, it's been half a year since they started it. I was like, by now they probably finished it. Well, I at least got one level into it. And I go look and see if I can download it, and couldn't find it. And remember, I'm having to re-download all the old Super Mario Bros. X games I had, at least all the good ones. Not to mention downloading resources, too. So, yeah, so I'm going to work on that. And once I'm done, like, with the level, obviously, I'm going to do a test video of it. And I'm going to show it to them. So that way, they're still encouraged to actually play it. But at least they get, like, a video preview of what it would be like. And like I said, then eventually here I'll work on my Castle Masterpiece Let's Plays and get my ass back in gear with my Super Mario Bros. X project, It's going to take a while getting that first level because I'm probably going to do my Star Palace level first because it's such a big level and I lost so much. I just want to get that level built up again. And then I'll probably start working on all the other levels I previewed because now that I have the preview videos downloaded to my computer, I can watch them and use them as a reference material for how to rebuild the levels. Some of those levels are so big. Fry Guy's Volcano is going to be a bitch too because just working with that tile set in the way it was and just how big that level was in general. It probably won't be exactly the same depending. Plus there's a secret exit in that level I didn't preview either, but that shouldn't be too hard to pull off. I'm still missing some resources though, like I need music and shit and maybe certain specific graphics. Plus that, and it's not just graphics packs I lost. Some of the graphics I was using were edited by myself, where I had to make my own custom edits and shit, and all that's gone too. The one that's not gone was I had to make a custom graphic request on Super Mario Bros. X forums, and luckily I was able to track down the topic. You fucking... Oh wow, notification and black screen, really? You are a bitch. There, go away. Anyway. Yeah, fucking bastard computer, now I lost my train of thought. Damn you. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of rebuilding to do. But, this is my next status update now, just to let you guys know, because I haven't uploaded in half a year. I didn't want to seem like I just up and vanished without a trace, like, I don't know, certain YouTubers do. Alpha Omega's and but yeah, here's an update. I'm back. I know some of you guys also like some of the music videos I upload, and I usually kind of only do that if I find something I can't find extended. So if I hear a track on the internet and I can't find an extended version, that's when I go, all right, fine, I'll do it myself. I'll extend it myself and I'll re-upload it. Assuming if YouTube doesn't give me the finger. It did once. I tried to upload a theme from To Love Ru, Golden, or what was it, Darkness Second or something like that. It was like an opening to the Darkness Second series or something. And I was going to upload to YouTube, and it pulled some, copyright, middle finger shit. I was like, oh. And I had to fucking say, fuck it. I'll just keep the damn video for myself. And now it's gone, so I have to re-download it. Asses. Fucking YouTube. You are the Titanic. You're slowly taking on water, and you are going to sink. All I pray for is that somebody please make a competing video site where there's no censorship. Because, like I said, I made a reference that Alpha Omega Sin just kind of dropping his YouTube channel, and I was subscribed to him and not anymore. And a lot of people think like, oh, well, he got demonetized and blah, blah, blah. And I understand. I respected the guy because he used his freedom of speech, because it's fucking America, damn it. And YouTube is going to act like a communist little prick and fucking go like, oh, no, you can't just say what you want, man, people and their special snowflake feelings, and you're going to hurt them. We have to censor your shit. We have to make everything family friendly, Everything's got to be covered in Nerf foam and shit. Yeah, fuck that. Homie, don't play that shit. Freedom of speech exists for a reason. If you can't handle it, go to North Korea or something. Watch that fucker shoot some missiles off and shit. And brag about how big his fucking nuclear cock is. I don't care. Anyway, so that's my update. I'm going to immediately end this video and get to work. Get to work on that fucking event. Get some levels done. And when I find the time, I will actually record my Castle Masterpiece Set 1 and 2 Let's Plays. Finally get some Let's Plays up and going and shit. Anyway, I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing my comeback, and it's going to be a slow comeback. Like I said, I'm still recovering technically. I got all this shit to download in order to get things to work, and my limited access to the internet, and everything else trying to get in my way because, I don't know, something hates me. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you're looking forward to seeing my project finally come to fruition, as well as all my other Let's Plays I plan on doing. So, it feels good to be back, and, yep, time for me to stop babbling. Alright, I'll see you next time.